Yo, what's good guys? Welcome back to another Haunting of Bly Manor reaction. This will be episode 3 now. Obviously I have my lovely lady helpers from the previous 2 episodes. And I need to apologise now. I was actually right about the camera being a second behind. Like the audio not really matching up to my lips moving. It's because of the poor lighting, but to be honest, my microphone works perfectly, so you can hear me perfectly. But it's just the sync that's not like quite. It's my audio in the camera, not really in sync. But you can hear me perfectly. You don't really have to see me after a reaction or before it. Only really during. But I don't talk that much during an episode anyway. Unless I get shit scared. So I'm going to keep it for now. I've tried to add a little bit more light so my camera can actually pick up on it. But it's not really the end of the world, is it? I mean, this is only a one-off for this series. I'm only going to react to it in the dark like this. Obviously, it's not quite as dark as the last 2 episodes. Because those 2 were the trial and errors. I don't think my audio being in sync is that much of a worry. If it was scratchy audio or something, then it would be a worry. But you can hear me perfectly, so it's not that bad. So, episode 3. The end of episode 2, we saw Oliver Jackson Cohen outside the window. I'm not sure if I've said anything about that, like prediction-wise. But what I would like to say is, I would like to give a little prediction. Basically, Dani went on the parapet and she saw the voodoo doll thing, or the talisman, and she moved it from there, and that's where she saw Oliver Jackson Cohen in it. So, I've got a theory that Flora and Miles actually are helping Dani. I know I said all this shit about the kids being in on it and, like, being against Dani and stuff, but it kind of makes sense that they are helping her. So obviously, when Flora was at the lake when she first met Dani, she had a doll then, and I think she was just like keeping it there. She was keeping her in the lake so she wouldn't move, and then she put it on the parapet to keep Oliver Jackson Cohen on the parapet and not move around. But as soon as Dani touched it and brought it to Hannah, that's when we saw Oliver Jackson Cohen outside the window and stuff, you know? And when the 2 kids locked Dani in the closet, I actually do think that they were protecting her. I reckon because Dani kicked over the doll that represented the lady in the lake, I reckon she was then on the move and on the hunt for whoever kicked her, you know? Do you know what I mean? And that's why they locked her in the cupboard and then they, like, done all that shit. So she did come inside Bly Manor. But the footsteps went left, though, into the Forbidden Wing. So I don't know, man. My predictions are all over the place. I also think, because I was watching back my reaction to episode 1. Obviously, I was editing it, yeah? For the YouTube version. I had to watch the whole thing again, essentially. And I noticed that not one person eats. Now, I'm not sure about episode 2, but the only person that seems to eat are the kids and Dani. Owen doesn't eat. Hannah doesn't eat or drink. But I don't know about Jamie. Does Jamie eat? I don't know. But I had this theory where, I don't know, what if, right? Hear me out on this, because I'm a little bit rugged on it. But what if the dolls actually have the good spirits in, and the bad spirits are in the human bodies? So let's say Owen, for example. Let's say he was taken over by a spirit, but his good spirit was transformed into a doll, maybe. I don't know. I'm talking absolute shit. Yeah, it sounded a lot better in my head anyway. It sounded so much better in my head. Oh, do you know what? It's because I saw in the trailer, I saw Henry Thomas lying down on like a sofa, and he was like looking kind of scared, and then a version of himself was coming down at him, looking at him like smiling. a bit like Oliver Jackson Cohen in The Window. So I reckon there's a good and bad side to each character. And the bad side, I don't know, like the bad side has currently taken over or something. And Flora and Miles are trying to stop all the spirits from that happening to Danny. Do you know what I mean? So it's happened to everyone there. So let's say Owen, Jamie, Hannah have all been taken over. And they're actually... So when Danny has dinner with them, or breakfast, she's actually surrounded by the bad spirits who are after her. Like Owen is the bad spirit, but Owen's good spirit is in a doll somewhere. Do you know what I mean? Or do you know what I mean? I don't know. It sounded better in my head. It sounded believable in my head. Believable. Anyway, okay, so let's crack on, man. Let's get on with episode 3. I think I remember seeing in the thumbnail that it was actually... I think Oliver Jackson Cohen is in the thumbnail of episode 3, and he's driving a car. Yeah, there we go. He's driving a car. Okay, so this is it. Episode 3 of The Haunting of Bly Manor. This one is called The Two Faces, Part 1. Sounds intriguing. Let's go.
He's awake. He's awake. He's awake.
Fuck, that's loud. Run away, I've got to get away. Nearly all tainted love. Tainted love.
Good morning.
Henry,
Certainly isn't.
is he Russian? Oh, he's Scottish. That's the au pair. Ah, fuck! This is the au pair.
I'll work with it.
Mr. Quint.
Nonsense, Peter. We both know you don't make mistakes.
Hey, you fucker.
Oh, absolutely. I also saw him yesterday on the parapet. Hannah says his name is Peter Quint. They know who he is.
Oh, I remember Quint all right. Figured he'd be half a world away on a beach somewhere.
Children, why don't you go upstairs, please? No arguments. Up we go.
There he is again, that fucking doctor, nose doctor, plague doctor.
I'll call Mr. Wingrave as well. See if he can offer any other advice. He expected rather a lot from the police.
Who the hell's that?
Correctly. He's probably still in touch with your superior.
I'll take another drive around the property.
That's an obvious fucking background ghost right in the fucking hallway right there. Why is it always one police officer as well coming to check out? They always work in twos. But in TV shows, they always work alone.
Where are you going with that?
I'm gonna do my own sweep.
No, don't go out. Okay, daytime release, man. Some daytime release.
What a gorgeous flower you are. What's your name?
I'm Flora. That means flower. Latin.
Of course it does. And you must be Miles.
Hi there. Let me guess. You want to be our very own Mary Poppins?
Ooh, why was Flora looking at the camera? I keep fucking hearing shit in my ear, man. Like something's moving around me.
Miss Jessel found herself as she walked the grounds of Bly for the first time, wishing that she might never leave. And it turned out
Don't go.
she never would.
Fuck, I'm scared, man. I'm actually scared. Now I'm starting to regret having 3 dolls here next to me.
Jesus!
Didn't you have a flashlight? Didn't you have a flashlight, Jamie? Fucking hell.
You look down there yet?
Nah, not yet. Go together, though. Let's go together. Yeah, nothing in here. Let's go. Fuck.
And for women, most of them. It's flowers.
Then why did you give the flowers to Flora?
I didn't.
It's a trick. What do you mean you didn't, man? You did. Why are we fucking flashing back?
Still at it?
Oh, we're not flashing back.
But I feel hopeful. And that doesn't happen often, not to me.
Uh-huh. Sure it doesn't, big boy. He gets about, man. Peter Quint, mate, he gets about. Eerie music playing. Jarring crescendo. Gentle music plays. That's what I like. Oh, and the glasses, mate. She went mental in it because she saw the glasses. Whoa! Get out of here. She's hit someone. I reckon she's run someone over in her car. Yeah, she's done something, man. She's hit and run. And the thing that she sees in the reflection with the bright eyes is the reflection of her headlights in his glasses or in her glasses. She's running from someone she's killed, innit? Maybe it happened in America, so that's why she came to England. Because she's wanted or something. I don't know.
Let's play some cards.
You just need to watch out because Miles is a filthy cheater. But otherwise, it's perfectly splendid. Yes, and you're perfectly mental. Stop it, Miles!
I'll give that to Miles. That was pretty funny. Shit, man. I'm only halfway through and I'm shitting myself already. Floorboard creaks. Don't go outside. 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 Oh fuck, my headphones came up.
I couldn't sleep and
Oh shit.
Well, thank you for coming to our rescue.
Oh, you always come to mine.
Owen fancies her. And everyone in the village fancies him, but he doesn't know it. The crack, is it gone? Mwah.
Flora?
It's still under the... Whoa! Oh! Ooh! There was something in the fucking mirror then, boy. I saw it.
Flora? Flora? No! Flora? No!
Yeah, okay.
Are they all right?
Well, there's nothing physically wrong with them. That's all I can speak to, I'm afraid. I'll see myself out.
Mentally, they're not right. Emotionally, they're not right. This is kind of cute, man. I reckon he actually is a good guy, but something took over him. Something evil took over him, mate, and it's given him a bad name, and no one knows what happened.
Henry, the house will blow up if I don't stay the week.
Then hold that thought. Just till tonight.
Whoa.
Come back to bed. Please.
Maybe he's not a nice guy. No.
We shouldn't be
It's
in here.
fine. We've got permission from the top.
The children...
Then it's set. I've seen to it. Okay? You trust me?
He's being a bit of a dick, man. Leave her alone.
Try it on. Go on, try it on.
I don't want to try it on. He's making her do stuff, man.
You see, if I ever find you in here again, in Charlotte's things, ever again, so help me God, I will drag you out of this house by your bloody hair and throw you into that dirty lake. Do you understand me? Good. Now, clean this up. It's almost supper.
Hannah, gross. Oh, shit. So he was lying then about inventory. About Henry telling him about selling some stuff, putting him on auction. He lied then.
Beyond agree. He needs more strawberry.
Alright, me try.
Oh no, not Jamie. There needs to be enough left for an actual cake.
Now there's massive tension now, man. I don't think Rebecca can focus now on her job.
They're finally asleep. I swear, Laura's wearing a cake's worth of batter. What's going on?
He's going, he's leaving.
To London. If you're going to flirt with him right in front of me, why would I stay for that?
Who? Who are you flirting with?
If you get hungry while I'm gone, why don't you see if Owen can find some ninja stuff into your mouth, since you're okay with that, probably.
Have you gone mad? What are you
I'm talking about that man you opened wide for not 2 hours ago. Matt! It's good to know that when a man asks you to put something in your mouth, he doesn't have to ask twice.
He didn't. You misunderstand.
You'll be fine.
You fucking bastard. What an evil bastard. I didn't even see it as flirting. Twisted motherfucker. He's in it for the money straight. He was in it for the money from the start.
Oh God. Yeah. No, yeah. He is. Just one moment.
Oh no, it's Owen's mum.
It's your neighbour, Mr. McQueenie.
He's dead.
I am so sorry, Owen.
Oh no. That's sad, man. It's got me tearing up, man. He spent every day with his mum, and the one day he doesn't spend with her, she's gone.
I'm so glad you stayed. I am too.
Aw, so they like each other. That's cute, man. Hey! Who are you? Yeah, come on. Fucking little mug. Fucking headbutt you. Wow. Who was that? I got no idea who that was. We saw more distinguishing features on that guy at the end. Then he got what, sucked into the house? I don't know. I don't know what that means. Yeah, I've got no idea what that means. Her screaming at the end, I'm guessing that was just for an effect on us. Like, to be, like, scared. I don't know. No idea what that meant at the end. But that episode. Okay, so it delved into Peter Quinn. Okay. So it seems like my camera is going to stay like this. I'll probably have to restart my computer or something. But yeah, let's get into the episode. So, I've turned my light on because I thought it would help my audio be in sync with the camera. But it doesn't seem that's the case. Anyway, I can fix that another time. But you guys can still hear me clearly. So, it just delved into Peter Quint. And Rebecca Jessel. So Peter, he came across as this nice guy at first, which really made Rebecca quite like him. Like, she fancied him kind of straight away, because he was so smooth when he walked in the classroom with the flowers. Miss Jessel thought it was for her straight away. And then you can see when Peter gave it to Flora, Miss Jessel was like, I don't know, she was looking like she was ready to receive them, and then she almost like went down. She was like, oh, she tried to carry on with what she was doing to make it look like she didn't think they were for her. So right from the start, Peter had her. And then as their kind of friendship progressed, he just kind of suckered her in, man. So at first he gave the flowers to Flora, and then second of all, he touched her hand on the sofa. And then he was like, no, I gotta go. Like, kind of leading Rebecca into thinking that he's a nice guy and that he's not just gonna... He's not one of those guys that will just move his hand up her dress or look down her blouse, like she explained, right? Like she said. So I think that was his plan all along. He wanted to not come across as one of those guys, but actually he is. The first instance was when he grabbed her arm when she got out of bed and said, please come back to bed. And she was like, I gotta work, man. Like, she's a full-time live-in nanny or au pair. But Peter didn't care, man. He was just like, please come back to bed. Like, surely you would respect her job. And if you said to her you're going to be here for another few days, then it's fine. Like, you'll just see her later, or later that evening once the kids have gone to bed. Or you'll see her during the day when the kids are preoccupied. Do you know what I mean? You don't like grab her arm and be like, please come back to bed. Like, it doesn't work like that. And then the whole forbidden wing thing, yeah? So he said to Rebecca, when she said to him that this wing is off limits, he said, oh, Henry gave me permission, it's fine, I got permission from the top for being here. I want you to have this coat, this fur coat, and it feels better on the skin. Like, more and more he's coming across to me as a pervert, because he was even looking at her in the mirror getting undressed, and then he turned around to see her, actually see her. And then I think he threw her on the bed, and then that's when Hannah interrupted. Good on Hannah for telling him off. And then Hannah said to him, if I catch you in here again, blah blah blah. I can't quite remember what she said, but she kind of said that you're not meant to be in here. So basically, Peter did lie about having permission to going to that wing. For some reason, he's just trying really, really hard to get Rebecca. And I don't know why. And then when Owen was making a cake, and he was even asking everyone to taste the batter, he got upset and jealous that Rebecca done it. And Rebecca said it needed more lemon, so it made it 1-1. And I reckon when Peter tasted it and he said strawberry, he said it in spite of Rebecca. So if Rebecca had said lemon, Peter would have said strawberry. Or was it lime? It was lemon or lime, one of the two. And if Rebecca had said strawberry, Peter would have probably said lemon or lime, just to spite her answer, because he was jealous that she tasted some cake batter, man. He's pathetic. And then he said he was packing up and going home, all because she tasted some cake. Are you mad? Are you mental? He's crazy. He's got some anger issues, some anger management shit going on. And then so it kept going back and forth between Rebecca and Danny. So not much really happening in the spirit world. I did see a few background ghosts here and there, a few faces in the mirror. The only jump scares for me, I made myself jump, I think the loudest was when Danny was with the statue with the flashlight. I don't know what made me jump, but something made me jump. Like, I apologise for it. I'll probably put a headphone warning on because it was quite loud. But yeah, that made me jump. Yeah, and we saw Hannah actually eating something as well. Now, I thought I had this whole theory that I thought they were all spirits. They all have a bad spirit or something. I don't know. maybe if someone is bad in that house, then it's almost like a memory, like the memory of the bad person stays there, of where they committed the worst act possible or something, like, to them. So Danny saw him on the parapet, which was where he took Rebecca to with all the candles and the wine and stuff. So maybe that is why. I don't know. I'm trying to make a few predictions, man, but I can't. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it properly. And then Flora was at the lake staring at Rebecca, and Rebecca's face was okay. She was just staring back. I didn't really know what to make of it. Maybe the talisman on the floor is keeping Rebecca there from opposite the pond. And because that talisman is there, Rebecca can't move. She can only... she can't come out of the boundary or something. But then again, we keep seeing the muddy footprints so on the floor, and I don't... Unless it's Miles and Flora doing it, but they do look like adult footprints. So I don't quite know. And we're 3 episodes in, and there's 9 episodes in total. So I don't quite know. I'm just trying to make sense of all of it. Fucking hell, man, that scared the shit out of me. Wait. Fuck. This thing right here. This looked like a fucking background ghost, man. Whatever this thing is. You can see like the outline here, like it goes into a head. I can't do it. I can't do it on the camera there. Yeah, for a second I thought it was it's my curtain. My curtain is that's what that is. I had to make sure though. What else, man? What else? I don't know why does Henry never want to visit Bly Manor as well? Is it because he knows shit goes down? Shit happens. Maybe whenever he's there, stuff gets worse for everyone when he's there. I don't know. I guess that episode was more of an in-depth look at Peter, Quint, and Rebecca, and the both of their relationships, and how the kids were around Rebecca and Peter, and we had a bit of the kids and Danny interacting again, like with the show. The puppet show or something, where Flora was a cat and Miles was a puppet. He went a little bit weird at the bottom of the stairs, talking about someone called Claude, I think, coming back, and the 20 puppets didn't know who he was or something like that. I didn't really get that bit anyway. But those two, I know they're actors, obviously, like the 2 kids are actors. But in this show, and they're acting in this show too, on the staircase in that little play. They're quite good actors, not gonna lie. So I don't know. Maybe if Henry wants to make a bit more money, he should make his niece and nephew actors. I don't know. Obviously, give the money to them as well. But do you know what I mean? He can be their manager or something, because he obviously has connections, because he's an extraordinarily busy man. But yeah. So the ending. So I talked about the ending a little bit. So, and I talked about my theory as well. So I'll say it again. So obviously the glasses. I reckon Danny, in America, has killed someone in a hit and run. And whenever she sees this figure with the bright eyes, it's actually like the last kind of thing she saw before she hit this guy with her car. It must be her headlights reflecting off of his glasses. That's why they're so bright. And then we saw when she was in bed, we saw like a hand with loads of cuts and stuff on it. Now obviously she hit this guy with her car and he didn't die on impact. He was obviously struggling to breathe or something, and he obviously died like 5 or 10 minutes later. But I don't know why she kept the glasses, unless it is a hit and run. Like, she took all of his things and stuff, or hid his body maybe, or buried his body somewhere. I don't know. There's some deep shit going on with Danny. And if Danny doesn't have this trauma going on with this guy with the big eyes, or bright eyes, she would probably be finding her stay at Bly Manor a bit easier. The only bad thing that's happened to her so far is getting locked in the cupboard, and then she saw it in the mirror. But I think she must be claustrophobic or something. That's why she was really panicking and stuff. But every time she sees the glasses, she gets a bit weird and that. And then the thing in the bed with the hand and the cuts, she got a bit weird and that. But if this prediction that I'm saying about the hit and run didn't happen, I think she would be fine being a nanny at the moment. Obviously, she's going to start to see more shit. Like, we didn't see any ghosts or spirits that episode. I saw a bit of the plague doctor guy in the background at the start, and I think when the policeman was there right at the beginning, there was someone in. It's hard not to miss this person in the background, under the stairs, right in the middle, just stood there like that, whilst the police officer was leaving the house. Like, yeah, it's just background ghosts is all I saw. And Danny and Jamie as well, they like kind of held hands for a bit and then they kind of pulled away. Maybe they're a bit cautious because back then it wasn't, it was quite frowned upon, like 2 women and 2 men being in a relationship and that. It was more frowned upon than it is now, do you know what I mean? So I think that's why they're going to be a little bit cautious. But it's cute, man. I'm all for it. I think it's hella cute. An American and a northern girl, like, meeting in this kind of environment and then kind of falling for each other. Not falling for each other, but kind of liking each other, which is nice. It kind of adds something new. It's not always a guy and a girl in this storyline. Like, it can be other things too, you know. And Owen as well. I feel bad for Owen, man. He went home every night to look after his mum, and the one night and one day he didn't spend with his mum, she ends up passing away. I think, anyway. I don't think it was it wasn't confirmed, but it was going towards the fact that his mum had passed away, which is sad. So he might be off work now for a bit. He might not be cooking for a bit. If he is, then good on him, man, because you need a bit of time off when a family member dies, do you know what I mean? So good on him if he does come back to work, but I wouldn't blame him if he needed some time off. And I can't see Henry saying no to him having time off. Oh yeah, and Rebecca said something. Even Rebecca said about footprints at night. Because Peter was like, how's it going so far? How's this job going? Rebecca was like, oh, they sometimes get up in the middle of the night and they muddy footprints all over the floor. So whose are they then? Because when Danny's there and we see the muddy footprints, we automatically think it's Rebecca in the lake. But if Rebecca, while she was an au pair, seeing black footprints on the floor, then it can't be Rebecca. It's got to be someone else, right? Anyway, I might actually leave it there. I'm going to try and get my webcam sorted out. I might even leave it like this with the lights. I think candle lights, like, it sounds good, but at the end of the day, it just keeps fucking my webcam up. Like, even now, you can see that my voice is not in sync at all with the video. Like, I'm looking at it right now, and every motion is delayed for me. I'm moving my hand at least 1 second before it's actually happening. Like, it's fucked. So I need to sort this shit out. So I'm going to stop it there. So thank you guys for watching this episode to Bly Manor, my reaction to it anyway. If you enjoy this reaction to episode 3, you can watch the full reaction to episode 3 of this episode over on my Patreon in full. You can also watch the full reactions to episodes 1 and 2 of Bly Manor in full. You can also watch the full reactions to every episode of The Haunting of Hill House over on my Patreon in full. And if you're watching this video on YouTube, this is episode 3, and that would mean that episodes 4 and 5 will be on my Patreon as well in full. if there's any more episodes up on my Patreon, I'll put some writing up here to let you guys know what's available or whatnot. But 100% 4 and 5 are going to be on my Patreon. But I'm not sure about episode 6, 7, 8, whatever. But there'll be some writing up here to tell you what's on there. Okay. So yeah. Thank you guys for watching again. And I'll see you for episode 5. Take it easy.